mediator is someone who goes between one party and another. In human affairs, the mediator will often help people to negotiate, as if there's a problem. In the divine economy, the mediator is the one who pleads our cause, even though we are completely undeserving. St. Paul teaches us that Christ is the sole and perfect mediator between God and man. This is because he is in fact both God and man. By sharing in his flesh, we also share in his divine life. And the letter to the Hebrews also speaks of our Lord as the mediator. He is the mediator of a new covenant, so that those who are called may receive the promised eternal inheritance. So when we speak of our Blessed Lady as Mediatrix, a female mediator, this would be a female form of the Latin word, we speak of her as a mediator in a secondary sense that doesn't in any way detract from the unique mediation which is offered by Christ, who is both God and man. So St. Ephraim, the Syrian father, when he spoke of the mediatorial role of Mary, placed it after the role of Christ and secondary to it. After the mediator, he said, "You are the mediatrix of the whole world." Incidentally, the title of Our Lady as Mediatrix was not invented in the Middle Ages or something, but was there among the fathers of the Church. Our Lady also mediates for us because she is the perfect human person, sinless from the first moment of her conception, and uniquely able to be our advocatrix, to plead for us with her prayers, unsullied by actual sin, but also pure from even that concupiscence that results from original sin. St. Pius X, Pope Leo XIII, Blessed Pope Pius IX, all referred to Our Lady as the Mediatrix. In his bull, proclaiming the doctrine of the Immaculate Conception, Blessed Pope Pius IX wrote, "All our hope do we repose in the most Blessed Virgin, in the all-fair and immaculate one, who has crushed the poisonous head of the most cruel serpent and brought salvation to the world. In her, who is the glory of the prophets and apostles, the honour of the martyrs, the crown and joy of all the saints. In her, who is the safest refuge and the most trustworthy helper of all who are in danger. In her, who with her only begotten Son is the most powerful mediatrix and conciliatrix in the whole world. In her, who is the most excellent glory, ornament and impregnable stronghold of the Holy Church. In her, who has destroyed all heresies and snatched the faithful people and nations from all kinds of direst calamities. In her do we hope, who has delivered us from so many dangers." It's interesting to note that the popes invoked the prayers of Our Blessed Lady and recommended devotion to her, particularly in the face of the onslaught upon the Church which they faced in their times. It's interesting because we obviously need the same today. Now, theologians distinguish between Our Lady's mediation in universali and in spatiali, universally and in each particular. Let me explain. Our Lady, in virtue of her vocation as the Mother of God, gave Christ our Redeemer to the world. He's the one from whom all graces flow, and in that sense, of course, Our Lady is certainly the mediatrix of all graces, since her consent to be the Mother of God made it possible for all these graces to be given to us. Some of the fathers of the Church speak of Our Lady as the second Eve, because by her obedience she undid what was done by the disobedience of the first Eve. So Irenaeus says, Eve was disobedient, for she did not obey when she was as yet a virgin, and even as she, having indeed a husband, Adam, but being nevertheless as yet a virgin, having become disobedient, was made the cause of death both to herself and to the entire human race, so also did Mary, having a man betrothed to her, and being nevertheless a virgin, by yielding obedience, became the cause of salvation, both to herself and the whole human race. One indication of the distinction between the mediatorship of Mary and of Christ is that never in the tradition has Our Lady ever been called a priest. fact, the Holy Office expressly forbade this title in the early 20th century, at a time of great devotion to Our Lady, indicating a limit to the expression of pious sentiments, and at the same time showing a theological distinction that preserved the unique mediation of Christ. And the notion of Our Lady as mediatrix is given stronger expression by the theological opinion, which I would agree with, that she is also mediatrix in spatiale. That means every particular grace that's given to people on earth, to you and to me, every grace that we receive today is given through the intercession of Our Lady in heaven. And again, that's not a recent opinion. It was supported by St. Bernard, who said that we have everything through Mary, an expression that was quoted by Pope Pius XI in his encyclical letter In Gravescentis Labis. In that encyclical, written in the face of the growing menace that would lead to the Second World War, the Holy Father wrote, "When the impious Mohammedan power, trusting in its all-powerful fleet and war-hardened armies, threatened the peoples of Europe with ruin and slavery, then, upon the suggestion of the Sovereign Pontiff, the protection of the Heavenly Mother was fervently implored, and the enemy was defeated and his ships sunk. Thus the faithful of every age, both in public misfortune and in private need, turn in supplication to Mary, the benignant, so that she may come to their aid and grant help and remedy against the sorrows of body and soul. And never was her most powerful aid hoped for in vain by those who besought it with pious and trustful prayer." It was a time of great menace, remember, as the build-up of the German armies before the onslaught of the Second World War. And encouraging people not to lose hope, Pope Pius XI said, "Nevertheless, venerable brethren, though such great and numerous evils hang over us, and others still greater are to be feared for the future, we must not lose heart, nor let the confident hope that rests solely on God become fainter. He who made the nations of the earth for health, without doubt will not let those perish whom he has redeemed with his precious blood, nor will he abandon his church. But rather, as we said in the beginning, shall we beseech God, through the mediation of the Blessed Virgin, so acceptable to him, since, to use the words of St. Bernard, such is the will of God, who has wished that we should have all things through Mary." Similarly, before him, Pope Benedict XV, writing during the First World War, said, "All gifts which the author of all good has disdained to communicate to the unhappy posterity of Adam are, according to the loving resolve of his divine providence, dispensed by the hands of the Most Holy Virgin." And the fact that Our Lady offers us a special mediation, that all of the graces we receive are thanks to her intercession, is related to her universal mediation as the Mother of God. It's fitting that she should cooperate in the spiritual life of all her children by her intercession. And she's also the prototype of the Church through which we receive grace. So spending a day to pray before our Blessed Lady, and to pray before the most sacred mystery of the most holy sacrament of the altar, we can be sure that Christ, our one mediator, and our Blessed Lady, the mediatrix, are of one heart and mind and will for our good. We have but to respond to them. That's all we have to do, is simply to respond to the great gifts that they have offered to us, to turn away from our sins, to turn back to the Lord with all our hearts, fasting, weeping and mourning, but most of all, offering to him the prayers that we make today. In the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.